Hey guys, my name is Everard Hernandez. You all can call me Ever for short. So what is this? What is this channel? What is this video supposed to be about? Honestly, I don't know. To be honest, well, I do know. I'll break it down to certain points, but essentially, kind of introduce myself. Um, Essentially, I am someone who always wanted to become a content creator, but always feared what people would think. I was always bad, and I always wanted, the perfect start, I guess, if that makes sense. Little did I know that would be kind of my downfall, wanting that perfect gear, perfect things, and so kind of pushed me along the sides, and I started self sabotaging myself, telling myself I'm not good enough, or like didn't even like. Honestly, I don't even know if that's fully what it was. I think it's just the fear of caring what people thought, to be honest. And so now that I'm here, what's kind of pushing me to post this and just say, F it, just start making content? I think my biggest thing is regret. I've had a film, what is it? A film program kind of to teach me to get into film. Of course, practicing and getting things started. I've had it for about 5 years. Honestly, I think I got it back in 2020 because I remember going to Wisconsin with that program, and never did anything with it. I started it. Don't get me wrong. I started it and then kind of fell off, and then kind of went back to doing it again. And I was like off and on, off and on. I was like where I'd get very inspiration, and then I would fall off because those voices in your head start getting to you. Those like little shits that are like, you're not good enough, you're not worth it, or whatever. Like, who's gonna watch you? And honestly, it's yeah, like I'm not expecting anyone to watch this. To be honest, I'm doing this mostly for myself to help myself practice editing, being on the camera, and trying to be well spoken and say things that have value, I guess, in a way. I mean, not only value, just kind of practice for myself in general. That's mainly what I want to do. And so practice discipline. I think that's the biggest thing. Is I learned that discipline is going to outweigh motivation or inspiration, because you can always get inspired, you can always have motivation, but it's the discipline, it's the consistency of it all. And so that's what I lacked. 5 years ago I was 25, right? And who knows what I would have been if I was disciplined in this craft, and where I could have been now. Maybe I could have had a small business doing digital content for small businesses, or I could have been making short films like I've always wanted. And so I guess I'm making this video for myself to be a little more accountable, maybe kind of put myself out there, and just hopefully this kind of forces me to get it and challenge myself to do something a little bit out of my comfort zone. Because even right now, while I'm talking, I'm still thinking like, this is dumb, this is stupid, I shouldn't do this, or this is cringe or whatever. But I think in the beginning it's always going to be cringe. But this is what I've always wanted to do. Whether it's make a YouTube channel, whether it was to do film. I mean, the main thing I always wanted to do was be an actor, and then that shifted to being a director, writer, and then wanting to just make films. Whether it's telling a story of a small business, how they can help you, or in general telling story through a movie, through a short film or something. I always wanted to create. There's that thing in me for some reason. Always came back to creating in this form. And so what's the whole point of this? I guess, long story short, I'm gonna start this YouTube channel, essentially starting from nothing, and hopefully get to something. Hopefully I can get better, hone my craft, and see progress as I go on. And I'm finally done caring about what people think, or in general, just stop, I guess, breaking promises to myself, because that was the big thing. I was always breaking promises to myself, always telling myself, oh, like again, I'm 30 years old. Today is actually May 14th, 2025. In 30 days, I'm going to be 31. And looking back on it, a year ago, I was like, okay, I'm going to finish my film program. I'm going to, get the stuff that I need, and then go in that direction. I never did. Whether it's procrastination, laziness, or just lack of motivation, or just lack of discipline in general, I just don't want to do that to myself anymore. And so, starting today, we're going to do this. I'm doing a 30-day challenge, at least for today, at least for this moment. I'm thinking this is perfect. In 30 days, I'm going to be 31. If I can keep up with this and drop a video every single day for 30 days, I think I could continue to do that. my goal is to do 100 videos over 100 days, right? They always have those challenges, 100 videos over 30 days. My biggest thing though is to improve each time, whether it's transitions, edits, audio, whatever it may be, learning to frame it a little bit better, whatever it may be. I want to make slight improvements every single time. And so I'll look back at my videos, maybe edit them a little bit better, cleaner, use a different software, see what I do. And so ultimately, that is my goal. I kind of want to do a learning with Ever series, which I feel like this idea kind of popped into my head because there's a great YouTuber by the name of Justin Song. If you guys want to learn how to learn, which sounds weird, but the guy breaks it down very. He was a doctor, and then he went into training people how to properly learn, or I guess essentially he explains it a lot better than I can, to be honest. But essentially, he breaks it down into little steps and tricks that you can do to enhance your ability to learn and how fast you can absorb things. And so, one of the things that I got from him was true understanding of a subject, whatever subject it may be, whether it's chemistry, writing, reading, storytelling, whatever it may be. Being able to reiterate it to an audience or say it back to someone and explain it in your own words will help you have a fine tune or a better understanding of that subject. And so, what I plan on doing is for the next 30 days at least, I'm going to be doing a Learning with Ever series where I'm going to be breaking down what I've learned from that film course in my own words and kind of show what I've learned and maybe like, how my interpretation of it or in general, just the way I remember certain terms or certain things or like relationships, things like that. And essentially, that's what I want to do. And so we're actually going to do it today. My first lesson for today, this is going to be day one, is going to be just start. That was the biggest thing for me in this video is just turning the camera on and just starting. To be honest, I'm not doing a script, which is very dangerous. That's why I'm probably saying a lot here and there because generally I'm trying to process my train of thought and make sure that it tells a compelling story for you guys and then also it makes sense because a lot of the times to me I have a vocabulary but then sometimes my understanding of the words are a little off and so I'll use words that are random but ultimately it's just my way of expressing myself whether it's wrong or whatever. I might cut this part out to be honest but anyways, so for all intents and purposes just start. One of the biggest things I've learned is it is imperative that I think it is very important to just stop thinking of when is the right moment to start and just start. Funny enough, the first lesson in the film program that I have is the um, procrastination and unmotivated and things like that. But that discipline is very important because doing it when you don't want to, because you need to get it done is better than just doing it when you want to or doing things because you feel like, oh, I'm very inspired, let me do this right now. And then practice comes with just wanting to do it. And eventually as I get better, I'm probably gonna want to do it more and more. I also didn't know where to start, how to practice. Like, I tried recording my dog, but she's scared of the camera, so that's another thing. And so I was like, what if I just record myself, make a YouTube channel, but then edit it certain ways or add certain effects and maybe kind of make it more engaging through my edits, and that can help me in turn learn editing better, all these things. One of the biggest lessons in there was the gear Pandora's box. Essentially, what he mentions is a lot of people get stuck for weeks, maybe even years. For me, God, like to be honest, I've had this light, let me show you guys, the NY300. I've had this light for 4 years. Didn't do anything. It's the one that's lighting the background right now with the soft light in the back. I didn't when I purchased it. I had started the film program, and that was one of the first lights he mentioned. It wasn't that expensive on Amazon. Purchased it, and then never did anything with it. And so I got stuck into I want the perfect light. I want the perfect audio. I want the perfect camera. I'm using my phone right now. That's the thing, is the phones nowadays have generally a better camera than they used to. I mean, of course, before they used to, but than a DSLR. I mean, I have Canon DSLR. I've had this also for 5 years, and I hardly ever use it, or I don't practice as much as I should. This is a good starting point too, right? And so but I got, maybe with this one, I got a little bit more discouraged because with filming with a camera and filming with, filming with a phone and then filming with a camera are two very different things, I've learned. Because not only with with the phone, you're kind of limited in a way where I feel like it's a blessing in a way, because with less options, you can be more creative on how you edit things, or how you kind of, everything else has to come together, I guess, a little bit better. Versus a camera, you have more options, but the more options you have, the more you have to learn. Like with my camera, I have to, understand the lens. What lens do I need to use for what scene? Understanding all those things. And so I'm still learning how to use that. And so ultimately, I got stuck in that cycle of, oh, I'll start when I get this gimbal. Or I'll start when I get this lighting situation. Right now, for my lighting, I have the YN 300 lighting the background, and I'm literally using my monitor as a key light, which don't know if it looks good. For me, it does look a lot better than the stuff I filmed before without any lighting. I literally Googled um, online light source, and the first thing came up with this. It was literally just a square, and you could change the colors and the temperature and all that stuff. And when you clicked on the expand, it just made the whole screen that color, which was pretty cool. And so what I did is I did white, but then I brought the brightness down of my monitor to kind of give it that kind of, there's a film that you can get in front of a light that kind of reduces the harshness of the light. It's kind of give it that artificial soft feel. I dimmed my light, which I feel like right now it's doing what it needs to be doing. Giving me kind of good lighting on this side, a little bit dark on this side to kind of give it that 3D look. And I feel like it looks pretty decent for what I have right now. And to be honest, of course, getting lights and everything like that, like getting an actual light with an actual film in front of it, is going to look much better. Using a DSLR or using another camera is better, but whether it's better or not, I'm done being stuck in that perpetual, that like stasis of wanting better gear and not moving forward. And I know I sound like a broken record, but I guarantee you, a lot of you guys who are starting your film journey are probably doing the same thing. You're wanting the perfect light. You want the best thing that's out on the market, which, to be fair, this stuff's expensive. It can add up fairly quickly. I mean, we can film with a budget and be more creative on the things that our gear is lacking, or buy the expensive gear and then not know how to use it. I feel like it's less about the gear you have and about how you use the gear that you do. And so that's where this first lesson comes in. I guess just stop worrying about that and just start. Whether it's just with a monitor and you don't have the key light. Even this looks pretty decent. It looks okay. Probably even turning the light on in your room would help out as well. And so that could be also a thing. Or, turning on having a light when you eventually get it. That's my plan, is as I progress with my videos, I want them to get better and more fine tuned and all these things. And so that's ultimately my plan. So for the next 30 days, I'm going to be breaking down what I learned in the film program and break it down in my own words, mainly for myself, to help me understand the material better, but also for anyone out there who's willing to follow me on this journey to see how things improve. And maybe, just maybe, the way I explain things will help people understand it better, and they can go out there and try maybe this will inspire someone to be like, you know what, I'm done too. I'm done waiting. I'm just gonna get my one camera and get everything started. And so, guys, like, let me show you what I'm doing right now. So right now, I am filming here. This is my setup. I literally have my monitor with the light that I told you guys, and literally I have a mirror here, because what I was worried about, one thing I understood is that the camera in the front is much better than, or sorry, in the back is better than your front facing camera. The only downside is I don't see myself. I don't know if I was in frame or anything like that. So I'm literally using a mirror to see where the camera is, and I kind of adjusted if I needed all those things. So, and then all those notes that you guys saw on the thing is my script. Essentially, I have like first ever YouTube video, or I have first YouTube video on there in marker. This is my bathroom mirror, by the way, the one that was in my room, in my bathroom. And then introduce yourself. So I kind of introduced myself briefly, my story, and I did the talking points: the fear, regret, discipline. I had Justin Song's name on it because I couldn't remember for the life of me what his name was. And then what I want to do, like what did I want to talk about, and what's today's lesson, which was to just start. So just get out there, start creating. I think it'd be better you start now versus later. And by the time I'm 31, I'll have 30 videos. Hopefully, this may catch someone's attention later down the road. I don't expect my first video to get a lot of views. And so maybe down the line, keeping this kind of momentum going, I can show people how to create and just get out of your comfort zone. Go for it. Just do it. Honestly, I feel like it's a little bit liberating too. I feel like if I finally just do it, it will kind of knock down the next domino, and the next domino, and the next domino, and we'll just kind of get better as we go. And so that's it for today's video, guys. And final, thank you all for watching. I would say like, comment, and subscribe. But again, this is my first video, so if anyone is watching, whoever watches it, if you feel like this had a good message, go ahead and share it. If we have anything on the bottom for me to improve, maybe the way I tell a story or anything, any way to improve, just let me know. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.